Big agriculture spent millions lobbying to make these vegetables illegal, not because they're dangerous, but because they're too powerful. These medieval crops contain compounds so potent they make modern GMOs look like candy. We're talking vegetables with 10 times the antioxidants, 3 times the protein, and nutritional profiles that would put a multivitamin to shame. Your grandmother knew about these. Her grandmother definitely grew them. But somewhere between then and now, they got erased from grocery stores, seed catalogs, and collective memory. Why? Because vegetables that grow themselves, require no chemicals, and come back year after year don't make money for seed companies. In the next 12 minutes, I'm showing you 15 vegetables that were so good at what they did, the agricultural industry had to make them disappear. Some are still technically legal, but impossible to find. Others are classified as weeds, so people spray them with poison instead of eating them. This is what they don't want you knowing about. Hey everyone, welcome back to Greenery Gazette. If you've been following this channel, you know we're in the business of uncovering food knowledge that got buried by industrial agriculture. This one goes deep. These aren't just forgotten vegetables. These are crops that were actively suppressed because they threatened profit margins. Hit that subscribe button because we're releasing content like this every week that exposes what the food industry doesn't want you knowing. Smash that like button so this information reaches people before they spend another dollar on supplements they could be growing in their backyard. Let's get into it. Vegetable 1. Purslane, the weed that's stronger than fish oil. Most people spray this with herbicide. Your grandmother tossed it in salads without thinking twice. Here's what makes purslane dangerous to big agriculture. It contains more omega-3 fatty acids than most fish. Not close to fish, more than fish. While supplement companies sell you expensive pills, this weed grows in sidewalk cracks for free. The vitamin E content beats spinach. The beta-carotene makes carrots look amateur. Ancient Romans treated it like liquid gold. The Chinese used it as medicine for thousands of years. But here's what really scared the industry. The antioxidant levels in purslane are 10 times higher than genetically modified vegetables. 10 times. That's not an exaggeration. The taste is slightly salty, crunchy, perfect for salads. It grows so fast, you can harvest multiple times per season. It thrives in heat and drought when everything else dies. So why did it become a weed? Because you can't patent it. You can't sell seeds every year. It just grows. And when vegetables grow themselves without chemicals, seed companies lose money. Vegetable 2 is Salsify, the root that tastes like oysters. Your great-great-grandmother knew all about this peculiar root vegetable. It was as common as potatoes. Then industrial farming showed up. Salsify's crime? It takes 8 to 9 months to grow. Compare that to quick turnover crops filling supermarket shelves. Corporate farms needed vegetables that grew fast and shipped faster. What they threw away was nutritional gold, more fiber than most modern vegetables, loaded with prebiotics that feed good gut bacteria, something our ancestors got naturally, but we now buy in expensive supplements. The taste is extraordinary, like an oyster and a parsnip had a baby. Medieval cooks considered it a delicacy. Wealthy families served it at important meals. The potassium content delivers heart-healthy benefits that shame most modern vegetables. But good luck finding Salsify at your local grocery store. They abandoned a vegetable that naturally supported digestive health for centuries. Number 3 is Lovage, celery's overachieving cousin who went to medical school. While modern celery tastes like crunchy water, Lovage packs a flavor punch that could wake up a hibernating bear. One leaf does the work of 10 celery stalks. Big agriculture didn't just ignore Lovage, they actively discouraged it. When you can grow something that replaces multiple seasonings and medicines, suddenly you don't need their expensive seed packets and chemical fertilizers. The anti-inflammatory compounds in Lovage make ibuprofen look like a participation trophy. Medieval healers used it for everything from kidney stones to joint pain. Modern studies confirm what those old-timers knew. Every part works overtime: leaves for seasoning, stems for cooking, roots for medicine, seeds for digestive tea. It's like getting a Swiss Army knife when everyone else sells single-blade razors. The real kicker is planted once and it feeds your family for decades. No wonder seed companies aren't thrilled about promoting it. We're 3 vegetables in, and I haven't even gotten to the one that tastes like candy, but actually makes you healthier. That's coming up next, but first, drop a comment. Have you heard of any of these so far? Number 4 is skirret, the root vegetable royalty hoarded like gold. Medieval kings ate this at fancy banquets. It was basically nature's candy bar, except it made you healthier instead of rotting your teeth. While royalty munched on skirret, modern agriculture decided this wasn't worth their time. Sugar beets and cane could be mass-produced faster. But skirret packs more inulin than health food store supplements. Your gut bacteria throw a party every time inulin shows up. For people dealing with diabetes, skirret's natural sweetness doesn't spike blood sugar like processed alternatives. The texture is perfect, not mushy like overcooked carrots, not tough like undercooked potatoes. While modern crops struggle in changing weather, skirret thrives in cooler climates. It laughs at frost like a Canadian in shorts during winter. Most people have never heard of it. Walk into any grocery store and ask for skirret, you'll get the same blank stare you'd get asking for a unicorn. Number 5 is Good King Henry, the working-class hero big agriculture wanted gone fast. This made modern crops look like nutritional weaklings, loaded with iron, vitamin C, more nutrients than supermarket spinach could dream of. The real issue for industrial farming is that it was slower than your uncle trying to figure out his smartphone. While modern crops could be rushed to market, Good King Henry took its sweet time developing nutrient-dense leaves. Patience and profit margins don't shake hands. Then there's what really spooked them. It's a perennial, comes back year after year without replanting, no seeds to buy annually. No dependency on agricultural suppliers. That's a vegetable garden on autopilot. Medieval folks used it medically for treating wounds thanks to anti-inflammatory compounds. You could eat the leaves raw or cooked, and the young shoots taste like asparagus. One plant, multiple uses. Great for families, terrible for companies selling specialized vegetables. Number 6 is Groundnut, the protein powerhouse that could have changed everything. This was the MVP of Native American agriculture. Makes modern potatoes look like nutritional lightweights, 3 times more protein than potatoes, and enough iron to make Popeye jealous. Groundnut wasn't just nutritious, it was practically indestructible. While modern crops throw tantrums over soil conditions, groundnut thrived in places where other plants would give up. Poor soil? No problem. Drought? Bring it on. Then industrial farming showed up with its bigger is better mentality. Groundnut's crime? It took patience. You couldn't plant endless rows and harvest with massive machines. It required actual knowledge, something that didn't fit the factory farming playbook. Why bother with a nutritious, dense, sustainable crop when you can grow uniform potatoes that ship well and last forever in storage? The climbing habit that made groundnuts so resilient became their downfall. Monoculture operations wanted crops that stayed put. Number 7 survived winters that would make a polar bear shiver, and number 12 was so prized the Romans built their cardiovascular health around it. Stay with me.
Vegetable 7. Sorrel. Number 7. Sorrel, the tangy green that conquered winter. Your grandmother threw this into salads without thinking twice. This stuff packs more vitamin A than most vegetables in your grocery cart, levels that make spinach look like it's slacking off. Sorrel tastes like someone crossed lettuce with a lemon wedge. Medieval cooks knew it could survive winters that would make other vegetables give up and die. While others froze, sorrel kept growing like that neighbor who mows his lawn in December. The natural oxalates in sorrel work like tiny food guardians, keeping things fresh longer than average greens. Nature's refrigerator before refrigerators existed. Why did we ditch this powerhouse? Big agriculture wanted vegetables that could sit in trucks for weeks without wilting. Sorrel's crime? It was too fresh, too flavorful, too good at what it did naturally. We replaced something this nutritious with bland, storage-friendly alternatives that need chemical cocktails just to grow properly. Sorrel laughs at pesticides because it's naturally tough. Vegetable 8. Cardoon, the artichoke's forgotten big brother. While artichokes get spotlight at fancy restaurants, Cardoon was doing heavy lifting in European gardens centuries before GMOs existed. This towering plant looks like artichoke on steroids, stalks reaching 6 feet tall. Cardoon doesn't mess around with heart health. Studies show Cardoon extract can slash bad cholesterol by up to 30%. That's better than most prescription drugs without the pharmacy bills. The active compounds work like tiny janitors scrubbing your arteries clean. 1 cup delivers nearly half your daily fiber needs. Your digestive system runs smoother, blood sugar stays steady. Why did big agriculture boot it? Simple economics. This plant takes patience, something modern farming hates. Cardoon needs careful blanching, specific growing conditions, skilled harvesting. Mass production prefers vegetables that grow fast, ship easy, look identical. The Mediterranean diet crowd still swears by Cardoon. While we're stuck with bland, nutrient-stripped vegetables designed for shelf life, Cardoon delivers real nutrition. Vegetable 9. Rampion, the fairy tale vegetable that disappeared. Ever heard of a vegetable so charming it landed in fairy tales? Rampion once ruled medieval salad bowls before big agriculture decided we didn't need it. The slightly sweet leaves taste like the mildest radish you've ever had, then make it even gentler. Medieval folks couldn't get enough. While we're munching on bland, watery lettuce that tastes like disappointment, Rampion was packing serious nutritional punch. More magnesium than most vegetables in today's supermarket. Magnesium is your bone's best friend. Why did this superstar disappear? Lettuce grows fast, ships well, looks uniform on shelves. Rampion takes its sweet time and doesn't photograph nicely for Instagram. The funny thing, Rampion practically grows itself. It's tougher than a $2 steak when it comes to pests and diseases. While modern crops need constant babying and chemical treatments, Rampion shrugs off problems. You might recognize this from Rapunzel. The whole story starts because someone desperately wanted Rampion from a witch's garden. Vegetable 10. Alexander's, celery's overachieving brother who went to medical school. The Romans didn't mess around. While conquering the world, they conquered dinner plates with this remarkable plant. You could eat every part: roots, stems, leaves, even seeds. Why waste anything when building an empire? Alexander's packed a secret weapon called apigenin. Medieval folks didn't know the fancy name, but they knew it worked magic. Stomach troubles? Alexander's. Joint pain? More Alexander's. Like having a pharmacy in your backyard. The taste? Celery decided to get spicy and develop personality. That peppery kick made Roman soldiers feel invincible. Modern agriculture showed up like that friend who ruins every party. Why grow something complex and flavorful when you can mass-produce bland, predictable crops? Alexander's required actual knowledge to harvest properly. Each part needed different timing, different techniques. Too much work for industrial farming. They wanted vegetables that behaved like factory workers, uniform, predictable, easy to manage. Alexander's was more like an artist. Vegetable 11. Borage, the herb of gladness big agriculture pretends doesn't exist. Medieval folks swore borage could lift anyone's spirits faster than a surprise inheritance check. This blue-flowered beauty contains more gamma-linolenic acid than fancy engineered crops could ever dream of producing. The same stuff they put in expensive supplements, borage delivers it naturally. The flowers are completely edible. Toss them on salads and watch dinner guests wonder if you hired a 5-star chef. They taste like cucumber with a hint of honey, shaped like perfect little stars. Some places restrict borage because of alkaloids. Sounds scary, right? Coffee has alkaloids too, and nobody's banning your morning cup. The difference is, borage actually helps your adrenal glands instead of overworking them. Medieval herbalists used it for everything from calming nerves to treating melancholy. Today's research backs up their wisdom. Those gamma-linolenic acids support healthy inflammation response better than most modern alternatives. And bees go absolutely crazy for borage flowers. Plant some and you'll have the happiest pollinators in the neighborhood. Vegetable 12. Mallow, the weed your grandmother yanked out without thinking twice. This unassuming plant was once the star of medieval kitchens and medicine cabinets. Here's the kicker. Mallow is literally where marshmallows got their name. Original marshmallows were made from mallow root sap, not the sugar-packed fluff we roast over campfires. Medieval cooks tossed mallow leaves into stews and soups, creating dishes that didn't just fill bellies, but actually healed them. The leaves contain mucilage, nature's own throat coat. Got a scratchy throat? Mallow beats those expensive lozenges hands down. Big agriculture got nervous because mallow spreads like gossip in a small town. Botanists politely call it invasive, which really means it grows so well it makes other crops look lazy. Can't have that when you're trying to sell expensive seeds every season. The roots were the real treasure. Medieval healers made poultices that soothed everything from burns to stomach ulcers. The mucilage creates protective coating on your stomach lining, like bubble wrap for your insides. Mallow kept growing when everything else failed during famines. Vegetable 13, sea kale, the coastal survivor that held land together. Medieval coastal communities treated this plant like underwater treasure. Picture cabbage's sophisticated cousin who spent too much time at the spa. This maritime marvel thrived along rocky coastlines, giving farmers near the ocean a reliable crop that laughed at salty soil and harsh winds. While everyone inland was babying their vegetables, coastal folks just let sea kale do its thing. Sea kale packs more vitamin C than your morning orange juice and enough iodine to keep your thyroid happy. Medieval sailors knew this stuff could prevent scurvy better than any fancy supplement big agriculture pushes today. The crazy part? Sea kale actually improves the land it grows on. Unlike modern crops that suck nutrients out, this plant prevents soil erosion. It literally holds the coastline together while feeding people. Try getting that from GMO broccoli. Raw, it's got this crisp, slightly salty bite that makes salads pop. Cooked, it transforms into something resembling the best parts of asparagus and spinach having a delicious baby. Sea kale's biggest crime was being too niche for mass production.
Vegetable 14, asparagus pea. The overachiever that got kicked out for being too interesting. This little beauty produces pods that taste remarkably like asparagus, but here's the kicker, it's actually a legume. Nature's practical joke on botanists everywhere. While regular asparagus takes 3 years to establish and demands perfect soil conditions like a spoiled celebrity, asparagus peas grow faster than your neighbor's gossip spreads. The pods are gorgeous. Bright red flowers bloom into these winged, almost ornamental-looking pods that would make Instagram followers think you've gone full fancy farmer. Big agriculture wanted nothing to do with something this photogenic. Why? Asparagus peas don't fit into neat shipping boxes. They're delicate, irregular, require individual attention. Basically the opposite of what industrial farming loves. Here's what really gets me fired up. It actually improves soil quality while it grows. Unlike many GMO crops that drain nutrients, asparagus peas fix nitrogen naturally. They're doing the soil a favor while producing food. The folate content rivals expensive supplements, and the fiber keeps your digestive system happy. Vegetable 15, chickweed. The weed most people rip out like public enemy number 1. Our medieval ancestors treated this weed like green gold. They knew something we've forgotten. Chickweed grows faster than gossip at a church potluck. Within weeks of planting, you can harvest tender leaves that pack more vitamin C than your average orange. Sailors gobbled this stuff up to prevent scurvy. Big agriculture convinced everyone that chickweed was nothing but a troublesome pest. Meanwhile, they pushed uniform crops that look pretty on shelves but deliver about as much nutrition as cardboard. Chickweed thrives everywhere. Poor soil? No problem. Drought conditions? It laughs in the face of dry weather. This little powerhouse contains saponins, natural compounds that act like nature's anti-inflammatory medicine. Medieval folks made poultices from it to treat wounds and skin problems. Why did we abandon such a reliable food source? You can't patent a weed that grows wild in every backyard.
There's no money in telling people they can harvest free salad greens from their lawn. It tastes like a cross between spinach and corn silk, mild, slightly sweet, surprisingly satisfying. While GMO crops require fertilizers, pesticides, constant babying, chickweed just grows. So there you have it, 15 vegetables that were so good at what they did, the agricultural industry had to make them disappear. These aren't theories or conspiracies. These are documented crops with proven nutritional profiles that beat modern vegetables by every metric. More vitamins, more minerals, more protein, more healthy fats. And they all have one thing in common. They threaten profit margins. Vegetables that grow themselves don't need seed companies. Vegetables that require no chemicals don't need pesticide manufacturers. Vegetables that come back year after year don't create annual customers. The agricultural industry didn't ban these because they were dangerous. They made them disappear because they were too good. Your grandmother knew about these. Her recipes included them. Her garden grew them. But somewhere between then and now, we traded real nutrition for convenience and shelf life. Here's what you can do. Research these vegetables. Find seed sources. They still exist if you look hard enough. Plant them in your garden. Share seeds with neighbors. Bring these crops back from obscurity. Every person who grows purslane instead of spraying it is a small act of rebellion. Every person who plants lovage instead of buying celery is taking power back. Every person who discovers chickweed in their lawn and eats it instead of poisoning it is refusing to play the game. If this opened your eyes to what's been hidden from you, smash that like button and subscribe to Greenery Gazette. Hit that notification bell because we're exposing these suppressed food systems every single week. Drop a comment and tell me which of these 15 vegetables shocked you the most. Have you actually tried any of them? Are you going to start growing them? Check the description for links to seed sources and more information on these forgotten crops. Thanks for watching. Now go grow something they don't want you to have. I'll see you in the next one.